Thought for 29 Sick Morning, everyone. Today I want to share something very simple but very powerful. Many people ask me, what is the secret of success? The truth is, there is no secret. Success is not about how smart you are, how rich your family is, or how lucky you are. Success is about habits. If you build the right habits, success will follow you naturally. If you build the wrong habits, failure will chase you no matter how talented you are. So today I will not give you theory. I will give you 10 habits that can change your life and help you achieve success. These habits are simple, but not easy. If you practice them every day, step by step, you will see how your life transforms. Discipline is the foundation of all success. Without discipline, talent is wasted. Intelligence is wasted. Even opportunities are wasted. Many people fail in life not because they are not smart, not because they don't have opportunities, but because they don't have the discipline to use their time, energy, and resources the right way. Discipline is not about doing big things once in a while. It is about doing small things consistently every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Most people know what they should do, but very few people have the discipline to actually do it. That is the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. When you wake up every morning, you have two choices. You can follow your feelings, or you can follow your discipline. Your feelings will tell you to sleep a little more, to relax, to delay the work. But discipline will tell you to get up, take action, and do what needs to be done. If you follow your feelings, you will always stay in the same place. If you follow your discipline, you will move forward, even if it is step by step. Discipline also means doing what is right, not what is easy. Everyone wants an easy life, but easy life brings hard results. Hard work, strict habits, and consistent effort may feel painful in the short term, but they bring freedom and success in the long term. The people who succeed are not always the smartest or the strongest, but they are the ones who can control themselves better than others. Think about a student who studies 1 hour every day with discipline. Another student studies only when exams come. In 1 year, who will be better? Of course, the one with discipline. The same is true for health, business, relationships, and money. Daily discipline compounds like interest in a bank. It grows silently, and one day it shows results that surprise everyone. Another important part of discipline is managing your time. Successful people don't waste time. They plan their day. They prioritize what matters, and they stick to it. Ordinary people say, I will do it when I have time. Successful people say, I will make time because it is important. That is discipline. Many people think discipline means no freedom, but in reality, discipline gives you the greatest freedom. If you have the discipline to save money, you are free from financial stress. If you have the discipline to work hard, you are free from regret. If you have the discipline to stay healthy, you are free from disease. Without discipline, you become a slave to your own bad habits. With discipline, you become the master of your future. Discipline also builds trust in business, in leadership, in friendship. People trust those who are consistent. If you say you will do something and you do it, people will respect you. If you break promises, people will never rely on you. Discipline is not just about yourself. It is also about the image you create in the eyes of others. The hardest part of discipline is the beginning. When you start, it feels uncomfortable. You want to quit, but once you do it again and again, it becomes a habit, and then it becomes natural. Discipline turns into routine, and routine turns into character. When it becomes your character, you don't even have to push yourself anymore. You just live that way naturally. Failure is one of the best teachers in life. Most people are afraid of failure. They try to avoid it. They hide from it. But the truth is, nobody in this world becomes successful without going through failure. The difference between people who succeed and people who give up is not the number of times they fail, but the way they respond to failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success. Every mistake, every rejection, every disappointment is preparing you for something bigger, but only if you have the courage to learn from it. Most people waste their failures. They complain, they blame others, they give excuses, and then they stop trying. But successful people take responsibility. They reflect and they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? When you fail, you discover your weaknesses. You find out where you need to improve. You also discover who your real friends are, because in good times, everyone is with you. But in bad times, only true people stay. Failure gives you clarity that success cannot give. Success can make you blind, but failure opens your eyes. I always tell people, don't be ashamed of failure. Be ashamed if you don't learn anything from failure. Falling down is normal, but staying down is a choice. Every time you fall, you are closer to standing up stronger. The greatest strength of a person is not that they never fall, but that they always get back up. Look at children when they learn to walk. They fall again and again, sometimes hundreds of times, but they never stop trying. They don't say, I fell down, maybe walking is not for me. They keep trying until one day they succeed. That is how life works. Adults forget this lesson because they are afraid of what other people will say. They care too much about embarrassment. But those who truly grow are the ones who are not afraid to look foolish for a while. Failure also teaches patience. In the modern world, everybody wants quick success. They want to be rich overnight. They want results tomorrow. They don't want to wait. But life does not work that way. Every big success is built step by step, with many failures along the way. If you can survive failure without giving up, it means you have the patience and the strength to handle real success. Sometimes failure is also protection. You may not understand it at the moment, but many failures save you from bigger mistakes. Maybe you failed in a small business, but it taught you lessons that later save you from losing millions. Maybe you failed in a relationship, but it prepared you to value and respect the right person in the future. Failure can redirect you to a better path, but only if you look at it with the right mindset. Another important thing about failure is that it teaches humility. Success makes people proud, sometimes too proud. But failure keeps you grounded. It reminds you that you are human, that you still have much to learn, and that you cannot control everything. Humility is necessary for growth, and failure is the best way to keep your ego under control. In business and in life, I have seen many people who gave up after one or two failures. They had the potential, but they lost the game because they lacked resilience. On the other hand, I have seen people with average talent but extraordinary resilience. They fail, they try again. They fail again, they still try again. Slowly they build experience, wisdom, and courage, and eventually they win. That is the true meaning of learning from failure. One of the biggest differences between people who succeed and people who stay average is the way they think about time. Average people think about today. Successful people think about tomorrow. And great leaders think about 10 years from now. If you want to achieve success, you cannot just think about quick results. You must train your mind to see the long game. Most people want fast success. They want money in 1 month, promotion in 1 year, recognition in 1 season. When it doesn't happen, they feel frustrated, they quit, or they jump to something else. But the truth is, anything valuable takes time. A tree does not grow in 1 night. It takes years of sunlight, water care, and patience before it becomes strong enough to give fruit and shade. Your career, your business, your personal growth, they all work the same way. Thinking long-term means asking yourself, where do I want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? It is not about what is easy today. It is about what will build a better future. For example, when you save money, it is not exciting today because you are not spending it. But in 10 years, that money will give you freedom. When you invest in learning new skills, it may not pay you tomorrow, but in the future, it will open doors you cannot imagine. In business, short-term thinking is very dangerous. Many companies want quick profit, so they cut corners, cheat customers, or copy others. Maybe they earn a little fast money, but they will not last. Customers may forgive once, but they do not forgive forever. Long-term thinking means putting trust, reputation, and quality above fast money. If you focus on building value, the money will come. But if you only focus on money, you will lose both value and money. Long-term thinking also requires sacrifice. You may have to say no to certain pleasures today in order to enjoy real success tomorrow. You may have to work hard when others are resting. You may have to save when others are spending. You may have to learn when others are wasting time. Sacrifice in the short term builds reward in the long term. but most people are not willing to wait, and that is why they never reach greatness. Another part of long-term thinking is vision. You must have a bigger picture in your mind. If you only focus on daily problems, you will always feel small and weak. But if you lift your eyes to the future, you gain strength to overcome temporary struggles. The vision of the future pulls you forward. It gives meaning to your efforts, even when results are not immediate. Patience is the best friend of long-term thinkers. Success may not come in 1 year or even 3 years, but if you stay on the path, if you keep working and improving, one day people will look at you and say, "You are lucky." But it's not luck, it is patience and consistency. The world always rewards those who can wait longer than others. Long-term thinking also shapes how you treat people. If you think short-term, you only care about what you can get from someone right now. But if you think long-term, you care about building trust, friendship, and reputation that will serve you for life. A good relationship today may give you nothing immediately, but 10 years later, it may open the biggest opportunity of your life. If you want to know whether someone will succeed, don't look at their talent, don't look at their money, don't look at their connections. Look at how they think about time. Do they sacrifice the future for comfort today, or do they sacrifice comfort today for a better future? That mindset is the clearest predictor of success. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. The world is moving so fast today that if you don't keep learning, you will be left behind. What you knew yesterday may not help you tomorrow. Knowledge is not something you collect once and then keep forever. It is something you must update, like water that keeps flowing. If water stands still, it becomes dirty. If your mind stands still, it becomes weak. Many people believe that after school or university, their learning is finished. But that is only the beginning. School gives you basic knowledge, but real life gives you the real lessons. The most successful people are not those who have the highest degrees, but those who never stop learning. They read books. They listen to people, they observe the world, and they keep improving themselves every single day. Learning is not just about reading, it is about curiosity. It is about asking questions, observing carefully, and paying attention to details others ignore. Every mistake teaches you something. Every person you meet has something to share. Every challenge you face is a classroom. Life is the biggest school, but only if you keep the heart of a student. One important attitude for lifelong learning is humility. If you think you already know everything, you will close the door to growth. The truth is, no matter how successful you become, there will always be someone who knows more than you, who is better than you in some way. Instead of feeling jealous, learn from them. Even a small child can teach you something if you are willing to listen. Humility keeps your mind open, and an open mind is the best environment for learning. Another key is adaptability. Technology, business, society, everything changes quickly. The skills that were valuable yesterday may not be useful tomorrow. If you are not learning new skills, you will soon find yourself irrelevant. Look at companies that failed. Most of them failed because they refused to learn and adapt. They were comfortable with the old way of doing things while the world was already moving forward. Learning is the only way to stay alive in a changing world. Don't only learn for your career, learn for your character. Learn about leadership, communication, emotional control, relationships, and mindset. Technical knowledge can help you get a job, but personal growth will help you keep success and live a meaningful life. Many talented people failed, not because they lacked skill, but because they lacked the wisdom to handle success, pressure, and people. Learning should not be something you do only when life forces you. Make it a habit. Even 30 minutes a day of reading or practicing a new skill can transform your future. Think about it. If you spend 30 minutes a day reading, in 1 year you finish more than 20 books. Imagine how much stronger your mind will be. The compound effect of daily learning is massive, but only a few people are disciplined enough to use it. Also, don't just learn for yourself, share your knowledge. Teaching others is one of the best ways to understand deeply. When you explain an idea, you discover what you truly know and what you don't. Helping others grow makes your own growth stronger. In the process, you build connections, respect, and opportunities. Remember, the world does not reward those who know everything. It rewards those who keep learning and keep adapting. Your ability to learn is your greatest security in an uncertain future. You may lose money, you may lose a job, you may lose a business, but if you never lose your ability to learn, you can rebuild everything again. Success is never achieved alone. No matter how smart, talented, or hardworking you are, you cannot build something great without the right people around you. The people you spend your time with will either push you higher or pull you down. If you walk with 5 lazy people, you will be the 6th. If you walk with 5 ambitious people, you will be the 6th. Your environment is stronger than your intention. You must choose carefully who you allow into your circle. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they spend their energy with the wrong people. Negative people will always complain, always doubt, always tell you it is impossible. If you keep listening to them, you will start believing them. On the other hand, positive people encourage you, challenge you, and remind you of your potential. When you feel weak, they give you strength. When you lose direction, they remind you of your vision. That is why surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the smartest habits for success. In business, one strong team is more valuable than 100 average workers. You don't need people who just follow orders. You need people who believe in the vision, who bring new ideas, who are willing to sacrifice, and who are reliable when challenges come. Skills can be trained, but loyalty, honesty, and passion are priceless. When you build a team, don't only look at resumes, look at character. You can teach someone how to do the job, but you cannot teach someone how to be trustworthy. Another important part of surrounding yourself with the right people is avoiding toxic relationships. Some people will drain your energy, waste your time, and distract you from your goals. They may be friends, colleagues, even family members. You cannot always cut them off completely, but you can limit the time you give them. Protect your energy. Your future is too valuable to waste on people who do not support your growth. Remember also that success is not just about what others can do for you, but also about what you can do for them. The best relationships are built on mutual growth, not one-sided benefit. If you help others succeed, they will help you in return. If you share opportunities, knowledge, and encouragement, you will create a network of trust that lasts for years. Selfish relationships never last, but genuine ones grow stronger with time. You must also be willing to learn from people who are better than you. Don't feel insecure if someone knows more, earns more, or has achieved more. Instead, spend time with them, observe them, ask questions, and absorb their habits. Success leaves clues, and the fastest way to learn is to spend time with those who have already walked the path. If you only surround yourself with people who are comfortable and average, you will also stay comfortable and average. Oh. Here we go. He's following you again. But if you surround yourself with people who are ambitious and disciplined, their energy will push you forward. The right people also keep you accountable. It is easy to break promises to yourself, but harder to break promises to someone you respect. If you say you will wake up early, work harder, or finish a project, and the right people are watching you, you will feel the pressure to stay disciplined. This kind of accountability is a powerful force for growth. Surrounding yourself with the right people is not about having the largest network, but about having the strongest relationships. I want 100 contacts who don't care about you are useless. But even 3 or 4 people who truly believe in you can change your life. Quality is always more important than quantity. Humility and hunger are 2 qualities that may sound opposite, but together they create unstoppable success. When you are humble, you keep your feet on the ground. When you are hungry, you keep your eyes on the future. Humble people attract respect. Hungry people attract opportunities. If you can balance both, you will continue to grow, no matter how high you reach. Many people fail, not because they never achieved success, but because once they achieved a little, they stopped growing. They became proud. They thought they were smarter than everyone else. And they stopped listening, stopped learning, stopped improving. Pride kills faster than failure. Failure makes you reflect, but pride makes you blind. That is why humility is so important. No matter how rich you become, how powerful you become, or how famous you become, never forget where you came from. Remember the days when nobody believed in you. Remember the struggles. Remember the mistakes. Humility keeps you human. Being humble does not mean you have no confidence. It means you respect others. You listen before you speak, and you understand that success is never just your own work. Behind every successful person is a team, a family, a group of supporters, and even a series of failures that shaped them. Humility is recognizing that life is bigger than your ego. At the same time, humility alone is not enough. You also need hunger. Hunger means never being satisfied with what you have achieved. It means staying curious, staying ambitious, staying driven. When you are hungry, you don't stop after one success. You keep asking, what more can I do? How much better can I become? How many more people can I help? Hunger pushes you beyond comfort, beyond mediocrity, into the zone where real growth happens. Think about athletes. The greatest champions are not only talented, they are hungry. Even after winning a championship, they train harder for the next one. They don't let one victory slow them down. They know that the moment they stop being hungry, someone else who is hungrier will replace them. Life works the same way. The world is full of competition, and the ones who win are not always the smartest, but the ones who want it the most. Hunger also means being willing to sacrifice. If you want to achieve something big, you cannot always choose comfort. You may have to work longer hours, take bigger risks, or delay pleasures while others are enjoying them. The hunger to achieve something meaningful will push you to do what most people avoid. That is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. But hunger without humility is dangerous. If you are hungry but not humble, you become arrogant, greedy, and selfish. People will not support you, and even if you succeed, it will not last. On the other hand, humility without hunger makes you comfortable but stagnant. You may be respected, but you will not achieve your full potential. That is why the balance of both is so powerful. To stay humble and hungry, you must keep reminding yourself that success is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate your achievements, but don't let them stop you. Learn from others, respect everyone, and keep challenging yourself to grow. Life will test you with failure, but it will also test you with success. Many people can handle failure, but very few can handle success without losing humility or hunger. The true winners are the ones who can handle both. Change is the only thing in life that is guaranteed. The world is moving every second. Technology is advancing, markets are shifting, people are evolving. If you refuse to change, you will be left behind. The ones who survive and succeed are not the strongest, not the most intelligent, but the ones who can adapt the fastest. Many people fear change because it feels uncomfortable. Change takes us out of our routine, out of our safe zone, and puts us into the unknown. The unknown is scary because it forces us to learn new things, to face new challenges, and to let go of old habits. But if you think carefully, everything valuable in life comes from change. You were once a child, then you changed into an adult. You once knew nothing, then you changed into someone with skills. Every success is built on change. The problem is most people try to hold on to the past. They say, this is how we always did it. They resist new technology, new ideas, new opportunities because they want to stay comfortable. But comfort is dangerous. Comfort slowly kills growth. The world doesn't care if you are comfortable. The world moves forward with or without you. If you don't move with it, you will wake up one day and realize everything has passed you by. Look at the history of business. Companies that refuse to embrace change are now gone. Those who said the internet was just a trend, those who ignored digital payments, those who thought customers would never shop online, they disappeared. On the other hand, companies that embraced change, even when it was risky, became leaders. Change creates opportunity, but only for those who are willing to see it. Embracing change requires courage. You cannot predict everything. Sometimes you will make mistakes. Sometimes the change will not work immediately. But it is better to fail while trying to adapt than to fail because you refuse to adapt at all. Change is not always comfortable, but it is always necessary. Another important thing is that change does not just happen outside of you, it must also happen inside of you. Your mindset must change. The way you see problems must change. The way you see people, money, time, and success must change. Every new level of life requires a new version of you. If you stay the same person, you cannot reach a higher level. Personal growth is a constant process of change. In leadership, embracing change means listening to young people, new voices, and fresh ideas. It means not thinking you know everything just because you are experienced. Experience is valuable, but sometimes it can also blind you. The world belongs to those who combine experience with openness. If you are open to change, you stay relevant. If you are closed, you slowly disappear. Change is not always easy, but it is always an opportunity. Every crisis brings change, and every change brings a chance to grow. Some people see crisis as the end, others see it as the beginning. When things change, weak people complain, but strong people adapt. The future will always belong to those who accept change faster, learn from it quicker, and use it to build something new. Success does not come from chasing money. It comes from solving problems. Money is only the reward that follows when you create value for others. If you want to build a great career, a strong business, or even a meaningful life, the key is to ask yourself, what problems can I solve for people? Most people think about what they can get. They ask, how can I make more money? How can I get a better position? How can I take advantage of this situation? That thinking is short term. Real success comes from asking, how can I give more? How can I fix something that people struggle with? How can I make life easier for others? The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the success you will achieve. Think about the world's most successful companies. They did not start by saying, we want to make billions. They started by solving a problem. People needed faster communication, so someone created email. People needed affordable travel, so companies built low-cost airlines. People needed access to goods, so platforms for online shopping were created. Every great business is built on the foundation of solving problems. The same principle works in personal life. If you want to be valuable at work, don't just do the minimum task given to you. Look around and see what problems your team is facing. Then take initiative to solve them. If you want people to trust you, show them that when a problem comes, you don't run away, you step forward. Problem solvers are always respected, always needed, and always remembered. Problem solvers are always respected, always needed, and always remembered. Solving problems also requires creativity. Problems rarely have easy solutions. Sometimes you need to look at things differently, to approach them from a new angle, to experiment with ideas others ignore. Creativity comes from curiosity and courage. If you keep asking why not and what if, you will eventually find solutions others could not see. The world does not pay for excuses, it pays for creativity. Another part of solving problems is responsibility. Many people see problems but do nothing. They say, it's not my job, it's not my fault. Someone else will take care of it. But leaders, innovators, and winners think differently. They see a problem and say, even if it's not my fault, I will take responsibility to fix it. Responsibility creates trust, and trust creates opportunity. You must also understand that solving problems is not about solving everything alone. It's about building the right team, asking the right questions, and working together. Some problems are too big for one person. The greatest successes come when people combine their skills and energy to solve challenges that nobody else dared to face. Collaboration multiplies the power of problem solving. Another truth is that problems never end. As soon as you solve one, another will appear. This is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. Problems are signs of progress. If you have no problems, it means you are not growing. The bigger your dream, the bigger the problems you will face. But instead of seeing them as obstacles, see them as opportunities to become stronger, smarter, and more valuable. When you focus on solving problems, people will notice. Customers will trust you. Employers will promote you. Investors will believe in you. Friends and family will respect you. Because in every part of life, people are looking for those who bring solutions, not excuses. And once you become known as someone who can solve problems, opportunities will always come to you in life and business. Intelligence is important, knowledge is important, but what is even more important is emotional control. Many people fail not because they lack talent or opportunities, but because they cannot manage their emotions at the right moment. Emotions are powerful. If you can control them, they will work for you. If you let them control you, when things go wrong, anger often comes first. Anger makes people say things they regret, make decisions they should not make, and damage relationships that took years to build. Anger is like fire, useful when controlled, dangerous when uncontrolled. A leader, an entrepreneur, Even a student must learn to stay calm when things get tough. The more pressure you face, the calmer you need to be, because calmness allows you to think clearly and find solutions. Fear is another emotion that destroys potential. Fear stops people from starting a business, speaking up in a meeting, trying something new, or taking risks that could change their life. Everyone feels fear, but the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is how they handle it. Successful people feel fear, but move forward anyway. They don't let fear paralyze them. They use it as energy to prepare better. Greed is also an emotion that must be controlled. Many people lose everything because they wanted too much, too fast. They want quick money, quick success, quick recognition. Greed makes you blind to risk and pushes you into traps. Real success is steady, built step by step, not rushed by greed. If you can control your desire and stay patient, you will build something that lasts. Even excitement, which seems positive, can be dangerous if it is not controlled. When people get excited, they sometimes overpromise, overspend, or overcommit. Excitement can push you into decisions without thinking. It is good to feel passion and energy, but balance it with logic and discipline. Emotion and reason must work together, not fight each other. In business, you will face rejection, criticism, and failure. These experiences hurt. If you let emotions take over, you will quit too early. If you let pride take over, you will ignore advice. If you let sadness take over, you will stop trying. Controlling emotions does not mean you don't feel them. It means you feel them, but don't let them decide your future. One way to control emotions is to pause before reacting. When someone criticizes you, don't answer immediately in anger. When an opportunity appears, don't jump immediately in excitement. Take a breath, think, then act. A small pause can save you from a big mistake. Another way is to focus on the bigger picture. When you are angry or sad, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Most of the time, the answer is no. That perspective helps you stay calm. Emotional control also builds trust. People follow leaders who are stable, not leaders who explode in anger one day and collapse in fear the next. Partners, employees, and customers want to work with someone they can rely on, someone who stays steady no matter the situation. If you can control your emotions, people will respect you and feel safe with you. The road to success is full of ups and downs. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Your emotions are your responsibility. The world will not stop testing you. So the sooner you learn to master yourself, the stronger and more successful you will become. Every successful person has one thing in common. They did not give up when others did. Talent is important, knowledge is useful, but persistence is what makes the real difference. Life will always test you. It will put obstacles in front of you. It will make you feel hopeless, and it will challenge your belief in yourself. In those moments, the easiest thing to do is quit. The hardest thing to do is keep going. But the ones who keep going are the ones who win. Think about it. Every dream looks impossible at the beginning. Starting a business, building a career, learning a skill, all of it feels too big, too far, too difficult. Most people give up not because the goal was impossible, but because they lost patience, because they listened to doubt, because they let failure convince them that it was the end. The truth is, failure is never the end unless you stop trying. The road to success is never straight. It is full of failures, rejections, and disappointments. You will hear no many times. People will laugh at your ideas. Friends may doubt you. Family may question you, and society may ignore you. But every rejection is only feedback. Every failure is only a lesson. And every disappointment is only a test. If you stand up each time you fall, you are already stronger than most people. You stand up, and you should all do what's best for you. Persistence is not about never feeling tired. You will feel tired, you will feel frustrated, you will feel like giving up. Persistence means you keep moving forward even when you feel that way. One small step every day is better than running fast and quitting halfway. The habit of not giving up builds character, and character builds destiny. Never giving up also means being flexible. It does not mean you keep doing the same wrong thing again and again. If a door is closed, try another door. If a strategy is failing, change the strategy, but not the dream. Sometimes persistence requires creativity, adaptation, and patience. It is not about being stubborn, it is about being determined. You must also learn to ignore negative voices. There will always be people who tell you that you cannot succeed. Some do it because they failed themselves, others because they are afraid you will succeed. If you listen to them, you will stop. If you ignore them and prove them wrong, you will rise. The strongest motivation often comes from turning doubt into energy. Think about the bamboo tree. For years after planting, you see nothing above the ground. You water it, you care for it, but it looks like nothing is happening. Then suddenly, after years of patience, it grows rapidly and becomes tall and strong. That is how success works. Most of the time, you don't see results immediately. But if you give up too early, you never reach the breakthrough. Never giving up is also about believing in yourself when no one else does. Confidence is not always natural. Sometimes it is a choice. You choose to believe in your dream. You choose to keep going. You choose not to quit. This choice, repeated again and again, builds an unstoppable spirit. In the end, those who succeed are not always the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They fall 7 times and stand up 8. They keep fighting, keep trying, keep believing, and because they never give up, life eventually opens the doors that others never reached. In conclusion, success is not magic and it is not luck. It is built day by day through the habits you choose, the habits of discipline, learning from failure, thinking long-term, continuous learning, surrounding yourself with the right people, staying humble and hungry, embracing change, focusing on solving problems, controlling emotions, and never giving up. These are not just lessons, they are tools. Tools that anyone, no matter their background, can use to shape a better future. Each habit may seem small, but when practiced consistently, they create a foundation that nothing can shake. Success is not about being the smartest person in the room. It is about being the most consistent, the most adaptable, the most determined. The world does not need more people with big dreams that remain dreams. The world needs people who have the habits to turn those dreams into reality. So the question is not whether success is possible for you. The real question is, are you willing to build these habits and keep them alive every single day? Because if you do, success will not just be something you chase, it will be something that naturally follows.